Hello you, it's me again, Shaya. In my last episode, I talked a little bit about why you should not get houseplants, and I was dead serious. Like, wouldn't you rather save your money and stop killing living things? In this episode, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the 4 reasons why I think you should have houseplants and one major myth. And I'll start with the myth. There's this myth around houseplants detoxifying the air in your house or your apartment, and there's this other thing about houseplants giving oxygen or something like that. While those are true, it's a big myth to, or rather, maybe I shouldn't call it myth. It's a misconception that these plants would clean your air. I would argue that you need a whole lot of plants. Like you probably should be living in a jungle for that to be true. Because this is like in micro or macro molecules. But today I'm going to be talking about 4 reasons why I think that you should have houseplants. So the first thing is mood boosters. Having houseplants would generally increase your mood, especially if you know how to. Now, there's a hormone in your body called oxytocin. That's the hormone that helps you create that warm and fuzzy feeling when you hug people or when you take care of pets. When you take care of houseplants, your oxytocin levels would also increase, and with that increase, that facilitates like increase in your mood, and that decreases your stress levels. And not only that, it helps you to regulate your emotional responses, so you have like pro-social behaviors like trust, like positive memory, like bonding, and like positive communication. Those are kind of like the side effect of an increased oxytocin level, and that's one of the things that having houseplants is going to do for you. So the second thing to add to this list is knowledge. Now, I'm a big advocate for learning, for increasing your knowledge, and with houseplants, you want to, as much as possible, learn about these plants. I would argue that before you get any plant into your house, you want to learn as much as you can on this plant. And even when you get your plants into your house, you want to learn as much as possible about this plant. What's the temperament? How do they behave? How do they behave with like this type of light? How do they behave with water? What kind of areas can you put your plants? All of that is what you want to learn. How do they grow? Do they have flowers? When do they have flowers? Do they have seeds when they bloom? Do they have seeds that germinate from those or that show up from those flowers? And how do they look? Things like that. Those are things that you want to learn. And not only that, with knowledge comes increasing your knowledge in different areas. It helps you to see patterns that you can apply across the different knowledge domains. So for instance, it's easier for me to think about seeds and the concept of seeds and death, for instance, which may be slightly philosophical, slightly morbid, but I can see how sometimes seeds need to die before new plants germinate, and that for me helps me to think about life, so like what I'm trying to say here is sometimes having these houseplants increase your knowledge in different domains, being able to see patterns, being able to see, to learn things that you never even learned before. Like, did you know that roses are edible? Did you know that apples are actually a type of rose? I'm sure you didn't know that, but like, just Google. It's true. So thirdly, beauty of your space. Now, because of the structure of foliages or the foliage of your plants and the patterns that your plants may have, the color of your plant, it can enhance your space. But one thing that I would argue, or that I would say, is you should consider the plants for your space rather than the space for your plant. And by that I mean this: when you have a space where you think that your plants would do really well in, then you can get your plants. But don't create space just for plants, right? You want to know which kind of plants you want to bring into that space. And it sometimes frustrates me when I see people who just go to stores and just buy plants without knowing whether those plants would actually survive in their own space. So think first about the plants before you think about your space. Then when you've thought about the plants and you know the kind of plants that would fit that space, then you can go ahead to get that plant rather than the other way. So the fourth thing is awareness. Now, what I like to say is having houseplants can help grow your consciousness in awareness, and that may seem contradictory, or that may seem like a very difficult statement to say, but we're all conscious beings and we all have awareness. Having plants, in fact, what I think sometimes is that nature and plants by themselves, in nature, what they do is they draw us to awareness. They draw us to this mindful space, and mindfulness is where you want to be. You want to spend more time being mindful, you know. So I like to say, spend time in your garden or your whichever space that you have these plants. Spend time with those plants, you know, whether it's taking care of those plants, whether it's, you know, just observing the really little things that will help you build your consciousness. That will help you build your, it'll create a mindfulness practice for you. And I like to say you should spend time lost in time, so that you can gain awareness, and you are your awareness, or you are awareness itself. So I feel like I could in a different setting, I could talk so much about awareness and plants and nature generally. Now so these are major reasons why I think that you should have plants if you're capable or if you're up to it. These are the 4 reasons that you should have. You should definitely jump into taking care of house plants. Now, if you liked this content, if you like this video, if something here resonated with you, I'd like that you give me a like and you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I'll see you in the next video.